In the time of Hume, there was a widespread belief in angels, that is, human figures with wings. Have you seen such a creature, Sophie? No, but you have seen a human figure. Dumb question, right? You have also seen wings, of course. So, according to Hume, an angel is a complex idea. It consists of two different experiences which are not in fact related, but nevertheless are associated in man's imagination. Hume begins by establishing that man has two different types of perceptions, namely impression and ideas. By impression, he means the immediate sensation of external reality. By ideas, he means the recollection of such impressions. Hume's point of view is that we sometimes form complex ideas for which there is no corresponding object in the physical world. We have already talked about angels. Previously, we referred to crocophants. Another example is Pegasus, a winged horse. In all these cases, we have to admit that the mind has done a good job of cutting out and pasting together all on its own. Each element was once sensed and entered the theater of the mind in the form of a real impression. Nothing is ever actually invented by the mind. The mind puts together and constructs false ideas. Nothing is ever actually invented by the mind. The mind simply puts together and constructs false ideas. In Hume's day, there was a lot of people who had very clear ideas of heaven or the New Jerusalem. You remember how Descartes indicated that clear and distinct ideas in themselves could be a guarantee that they could correspond to something that never really exists. In Hume's day, there was a lot of people who had clear ideas of heaven or the New Jerusalem. You remember how Descartes indicated that clear and distinct ideas in themselves could be a guarantee that they could correspond to something that really exists. We soon realized that our idea of heaven is compounded of a great many elements. Heaven is made up of pearly gates, streets of gold, angels by the score, and so on and so forth. And still, we have not broken everything down into single elements. For purely gates, streets of gold, and angels are all complex ideas in themselves. Only when we recognize that our idea of heaven consists of a single notion such as pearl, gate, street, gold, white robed figure, and wings can we ask ourselves if we ever really had any such simple impressions. We did, but we did cut out and pasted all these simple impressions into one idea. That's just we did, right? Because if there is something we humans do when we visualize, it's use scissors and papers. It's use That's just what we did. Because there is something we humans do when we visualize. It's use scissors and paste. But Hume emphasizes that all elements we put together in our idea must be, at some point or time, have entered the mind in the form of simple impressions. A person who has never seen gold will never be able to visualize streets of gold. Hume had, he was very clever, right? What about Descartes having a clear and distinct idea of God? Hume had an answer to that too. Let's say we imagine God as an infinitely intelligent, wise, and good being. We have thus a complex idea that consists of something infinitely intelligent, something infinitely wise, and something infinitely good. If we had never known intelligence, wisdom, and goodness, we would have never have such an idea of God. Our idea of God might also be that He is a severe but just Father. That is to say, a concept made up of severity, justice, and Father. Many critics of religion since Hume have claimed that ideas of God can be associated with how we experience our own Father when we were little. It was said that the idea of a father led to the idea of a heavenly Father. If your mind can't find the pieces, how will you ever complete the puzzle? If your mind can't even witness the small actions, how will you complete or reach that goal? This is what Hume taught us with his philosophy. He made us understood that our mind doesn't imagine things. It sees simple ideas in the world and merges them, cuts them, merges them into big complex ideas. Like for the example I read in the book, we don't know or we don't have a simple idea of a heaven. We imagine, we cut out ideas like a white robed figure, gold, wings, and whatnot, and then we think of a heaven, right? This is how you need to think of your own life. There are a lot of people who don't even or who can't even imagine the actions that they need to take to achieve a particular goal. And that's why they fail, because if you don't even know what to do, then how will you even do it to achieve the goal? And this philosophy really resonates with us because many of us, like just yesterday, I saw a poor kid who was roaming the streets of my town, and I could see him. Like the only difference between me and him as a person biologically was none. The only difference was that I had parents who gave me an education, who actually gave me those small ideas on which I could construct the bigger picture, that I should start a Substack, that I could read books to get more knowledgeable, that I could start and make these YouTube videos so that I can become a good orator, or I should do uh, computer science problems to improve my problem solving ability. My parents provided me the knowledge so that I can get the simple ideas to form the bigger picture. But many of us are not fortunate enough. Many of us are not fortunate enough because to get the simple ideas handed to us. Like for example, there might be a very rich kid or a kid from a very who had parents in the same background, and he might be even more fortunate than I am, because his parents will already have handed him the simple ideas which I will have to find myself. And that's the beauty of life. That's not beauty, that's the ugliness of life, that not everyone has started from the same starting position on the race. And this book in this book, Descartes, Hume taught us that that's the reality. Your mind doesn't know how to imagine things. It just takes the simple ideas, cuts it, and merges it into a complex idea. Ima- just think imagining a street of gold for someone who has never even seen gold. Imagine for a person to write a great fantasy who has never even watched a great fantasy. Imagine a person or tell a person who has never seen a banana to go and find a banana. He can't do that. Imagine a person to do a dance move when he has never even seen it, right? That's the thing in life, that you have to have those small ideas in place to get the bigger picture. And that's why it's very necessary to have a multidisciplinary approach in life. But that's just me preaching, and yeah, bye.